and that hadn't happened in almost 120 years, the fifth time in a row. So, records are made to be broken, so he can do it. But my money's on whoever he fights next. That's the end of the title reign. First title reign for Stipe Miocic. We might see him again.
Wowzers. Kyle, what about yourself? Your thoughts on the main event and the champion retaining?
I need to get people back on my side here, so I'm going to say all I have are just glowing things to say about Stipe Miocic. I absolutely hometown hero, man. I'm from Ohio. He's from Northern Ohio. I love the fighting style. I think that Stipe can get the third time. I don't see anybody as being a super big threat. I am, talking about some Kool-Aid earlier. I'm all over the Ngannou Kool-Aid, so. Unless he's fighting him, I'm not terribly concerned. But once he fights him, listen, at this point, the heavyweight belt is basically an interim title, and it's just waiting for Ngannou to get a couple more fights under his belt and get up there, because that man's going to get that belt and he's going to hold it for a while. I can't even imagine what it's going to take to unseat him once he finally gets up there. So he has a lot to learn, though. He has a lot to learn. So, he definitely needs some more fights, but he is just an absolute athletic specimen.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting once he really starts coming into his own. He's also a young guy, I'm pretty sure. But, I love Stipe. I love JDS. I mean, you couldn't have two nicer people fighting each other. Two more likable people fighting each other, but somebody had to lose, and I'm glad that Stipe won, and I hope he fights in the next 6 months and gets that record, man. It'd be well deserved. He's been 100%. A good champion.
Definitely. Guys, final part of the show. It's my favourite, answering fan questions. Thanks for everybody who got in touch. I'll remind the panel of the one rule that we have on the podcast, and it's simply this, that you don't have to wait your turn. The floor is yours, gentlemen. So I'll start with the Facebook questions this week, starting with Dave Rowe. He commented on the main event, and he says, those kicks could have ended Stipe's fight, but JDS didn't do any favours, constantly backing into the cage. Bad habits cost JDS this fight, in my opinion. What's everyone's thoughts?
Yeah, he was way too cautious during the fight, man. No doubt about it. Backed up, circled with his back to the cage damn near the whole time. And, going back to what I said, man, what really lost him the fight is he doesn't respond well to getting hit anymore. He's too cautious with his hands, and you're not going to win in the heavyweight division doing that.
For sure. Let's move on then, guys. We've got Jordan Allen, who says, it's only a matter of time until Jason Knight is in title contention, mark my words. He wants Do Ho Choi next, the rumour is. How would everyone see that going down?
Kobe, you take this, buddy.
So Jason Knight has become a friend of mine, but I watched him fight Jim Allers, and I seen something special in him, much like I seen in Cody Garbrandt about a year before he fought Dominic Cruz. I predicted him to be the next UFC superstar and the man to dethrone Dominic Cruz, and that did happen. There is a special fight in Jason Knight. Never mind the technical grappling abilities, never mind the striking, never mind the improved wrestling. There is a fight inside that man. Some people are born to sell cars. That man is born to fight in a cage. I believe he has the most underrated jiu-jitsu game in the UFC. We've seen that on display last night. I don't know if they give him Do Ho Choi next. He has a fight booked. Artem Lobov is another name that's being thrown around. I'm not sure why he went there. He's a 2-3 guy. I think that would be easy money. I think Knight would absolutely body him. But at this point in time, if Knight continues to progress as he has thus far, especially with the wrestling, I think it's absolutely a competitive bout.
Yeah, what he did to Chad Skelly was unreal. I mean, I loved Jason Knight going into this. I had him, in this fight. We all did, actually, Kobe, on the panel. Every single one of us picked Jason Knight, which I thought was really interesting because he was the underdog, and I assumed I'd be alone on an island on that one. And nope, every single person on our breakdown picked Jason Knight, which I thought was fantastic.
Good chance.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that though. Holy shit, that is not at all. If you would have, I would have given you 12 different answers about how that fight was going to end before I gave you that one. I mean, I really did not think that Jason Knight was going to be able to get Chas Skelly out of there. To be the first man to get him out of there.
That's a good point.
And good for him, man. What an absolute monster Jason Knight's going to be.
Whatever happens, as long as we get to hear that sweet Southern accent of his, I'm down with him.
Right?
To win.
Hey, me too, man. I'm out there with you.
Superb. Let's move on to Twitter then, guys. At Ben Holden tweeted to say, Kane versus Stipe next would make sense, but Francis Ngannou would make such a fun fight. I guess we kind of talked about this earlier, but...
Not yet.
No, you don't think so?
Not yet. Not yet. Just wait.
Not only would the Kane versus Stipe make sense, it will make dollars, and that always makes sense when you're talking about prize fighting. Man, I think Ngannou, I think he's ready. You don't know until you get in there, man. And as young as he is, I would not be opposed to seeing him fight for the title right now. But I understand if someone would think that he might need to wait and develop a little bit more.
I think he's ready. I just don't want him to. I'm like, just let Stipe, come on now. Let Stipe get the record. Just let the man get the record. Just let the man get the record.
Your hometown to me.
I know, man. Just let the man get the record, and then let Ngannou go in there and maul him. I mean, but let's just wait. Let's just wait. Give him one more fight.
I'm not sure Cain Velasquez is even training. I think he's dealing with more injuries. There's a chance that you might not see him fight again. And the one thing that I think that we all know and can agree on about the heavyweight division is that one punch can change the course of any fight. And that's really the thing and why this belt changes hands the way it does. So, why not give Francis Ngannou the chance now? Because I think he has a legitimate chance of taking that world title based on the fact that, like I said, this division is so up and down and back and forth because these guys land one clean shot and it's game over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a volatile division, and you're right. It's like one punch can end any fight, but it's times 1,000 in the heavyweight divisions. You know what I mean? It's just, Francis Ngannou though, man, what a fun fight that would be.
Can we just feed Stipe Ben Rothwell or something? I think he's suspended by USADA, right?
Yeah.
But I guess, man. Who else are you going to put in there? Because I honestly don't think you're going to see Kane. Put Verdum back in there.
It's because it's been so soon. I don't know. You've got Mark Hunt and Derek Lewis fighting soon. If Derek Lewis gets the victory,
Mark Hunt just lost.
No, I know, but I'm saying if the Black Beast gets the victory there, that's a scalp that maybe could, I don't know, put him into title contention. Francis Ngannou would be such a fun fight. Such a fun fight. Let's move on to at Adam Wagner 94 tweeted to say, Joanna Jędrzejczyk is the greatest women's fighter of all time. Hashtag Ronda, hashtag Gina, hashtag Cyborg, no contest.
Take Rousey and Gina out there. That dude's nuts. Cyborg, I'm still say Cyborg's the best, but I totally understand if somebody would pick Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Some part of me can't get past the fact that these chicks are 115 pounds. There's got to be women out there that are pound for pound better than her. But yeah, man, she's great. She's great. I think she's a lot cuter than people give her credit for, which is never a bad thing when you're a female fighter. But yeah, that's my girl, dude. She put the stangs on old girl, man. When she's on, when she has a superior game plan to people, she looks so great. And then whenever she wants to just stand in the pocket and bang it out with somebody, she looks great doing that too. So what's not to like?
I think she absolutely is. And I don't think it's when she puts a game plan together. It's that she's going to. And we're all fed once again wolf tickets last night with this Jessica Andrade nonsense, which I outlined in my breakdown. The massive contrast in footwork was there was no parallel. When you break down and you watch that Angela Hill fight in slow motion, Jessica Andrade did not have the competitive experience to handle being in the cage with a world-class striker. With the women's MMA right now, we have these women that have spent a lifetime developing skills on their feet in combat sports, sliding into MMA, learning distance management, learning takedown defense, learning the jiu-jitsu, learning the wrestling, and dominating. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. That's sort of the trend right now. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is much like Demetrius Johnson. You pick a new opponent, and she knocks him down like dominoes. Jessica Andrade did not stand a chance. Joanna Jędrzejczyk is as dominant as a champion as I ever seen. Certainly with the women, I would say that would be an accurate assessment all day long.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. We're just short on time, guys, so I'll quickly go through the last two from Twitter. One's just a comment, quite comical. I'll just take the last one from Els for Elf, good friend of the show. But MMA Roasted tweeted us to say, Trump watched Frankie Edgar beat up a Mexican tonight and just made him head of the FBI. Hashtag UFC 211. But last one from Twitter reads, at Els from Elf, she tweeted to say, DC finally beats John Jones, or is his bitch once again? Hashtag UFC 214. What's the panel's predictions?
Say that one more
He's
time.
his bitch once again.
DC or Jones?
He's asking DC versus John Jones. Is DC going to win? No, he's not.
No. Okay. No.
Dude, did you catch some of this? I mean, John Boy knows how much I hate DC and how.
You think he's corny? He's too corny, huh?
He's talking shit. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make this heel turn, and dude, at the press conference, him talking shit reminds me of like one of my friend's moms talking down on you. You know what I mean? The funniest shit ever was when he tells John whatever he says to John Jones, he's like, dude, I'll beat you after a weekend of doing cocaine.
Yeah.
What are you going to say to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I will say, though, as cringeworthy as the DC John Jones talk was, it wasn't even close to being the most cringeworthy stuff to happen that day. I mean, that whole press conference was just a dumpster fire. I hear everything felt synthetic. Everything felt just like everyone is trying way too hard. Kevin Lee is trying to channel. I don't know what he's doing. He was off and just la. I mean, it was nuts.
When I'm watching the thing, I'm thinking to myself, the WWF wishes they could do something like this. You know what I mean? They couldn't pull it off because everybody knows it's scripted. But I was thinking the same thing, man. I mean, they're going straight pro wrestling on us.
Oh, yeah.
It was cringe. I was cringing. Felt like every 2 minutes I was going, oh, please stop.
I'll offer you 1 point about John Jones and Daniel Cormier, and this is a what-if scenario. What if John Jones does not perform the same without the crutch? It's easy to make the joke about, I did cocaine all weekend and I beat your ass. But some people aren't comfortable in their own skin. Some people need to put things into their bodies to get themselves out of themselves, to get rid of anxiety, to get rid of stress. And the John Jones we seen against OSP was not as good as John Jones in fights past. So what if John Jones is not the same guy without putting substances in his body? Just something to think about.
I agree, man. I think that's an extremely valid point.
That's true.
With or without the dick pill, he kicks his ass.
I agree.
It's possible. It's possible.
Somebody's getting fucked.
Superb, guys. Well, let's finish up on dick pills, and that's a good way to end the show, guys. Well, thanks to our panel here tonight of Kevin Jones of the main event, Kobe of Kobes Korner, and Kyle Steele of the Loudmouth MMA podcast. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, and listen every Sunday live here on Speaker. You can do that by searching for Martial Arts Chat on all platforms. I'm John Boy McElroy, and I'll catch you all again for some more Martial Arts Chat.